Warren Buffett and Bill Gates. Warren Buffett, Bill Gates.
If I had some really tough decision, I'd talk to Warren.
If you get the best out of people around you, that's a rare talent.
I'm Mark Schmitz. I'm a senior actuarial science major. Could you tell us a little bit about your typical workday and how you manage your time to allow for like playing Halo 2 and that kind of stuff?
Well, I don't get to play much Halo 2. I have to say, when I play with my colleagues at work, I get slaughtered so fast it's unbelievable when I'm on Xbox Live. Project Gotham Racing, I'm a little better at it. It's nice to have a job where gaming is a serious pursuit, and we get to think about that and talk about that. You know, and playing around with the latest technology, whether it's you know, new PCs, looking at new software, sitting down with researchers. It's why I think my job is the best. Warren thinks his is the best, but I'm sure I'm right. Anyway, I'm in meetings a lot. My calendar gets very full with those, and then at night, after the kids have gone to bed, I'm on email a great deal. I get messages during the day. That's my chance to give long responses. And then over the weekend, I send a lot of mail as well. I take 2 weeks a year to just go off and read and think, where I'm not interrupted by work or anything else. I'm just solidly trying to think about the future, and people get to send me things to read as part of that so-called Think Week. So it's a nice mix of things. About 25% of the time then I'm out traveling around, meeting with customers, Europe, Asia, and that sort of helps me think, okay, do we have the right priorities? What are people responding well to, and what would they like to see us do better?
I'm on Think Week about 50 weeks a year. I work about 2. And you'd be surprised at my days. I mean, they're very unstructured, no meetings, none. I mean, I don't like meetings. And I read a lot. I wish I were a faster reader. You know, I'd get more done. But I do read a lot, and I'm on the phone a moderate amount. Our businesses run themselves basically out there. My job is allocating capital, and that's what I'm thinking about. But I don't like to have things all packed hour to hour to hour. And Bill and I are both extraordinarily lucky. I mean, we really get to do what we like to do, the way we want to do it, with people that we choose to be around, and they're terrific. I mean, we've really got everything our way, and we're very fortunate. And in his world, he has a different kind of pace than I have, but we both love it the way we do it. And my guess is that we're each the most productive in that particular mode too, because it fits our personalities and aptitudes.
My name is Ryan Menlick. I'm from Omaha, Nebraska. I'm a senior accounting major. And my question, Mr. Gates, is I received an email a couple weeks back from you, and it said that if I forwarded it to 20 people, I'd get $10,000. I still haven't seen the money yet.
How do you think you got to be #1 on that list?
Yeah, I get a lot of that spam email myself. My favorite was they offered to cover my legal costs for just $1 a month. So I'm trying to track those people down.
No, but in all seriousness, when you were just beginning your career, what sort of things do you think made a big impact in your success? What habits did you develop, and kind of what sort of things could you pass on to us as younger people?
I had one habit that I developed when I was at college that was actually a very bad habit, which was I like to show people that I didn't do any work and that I didn't go to classes and I didn't care. And then at the very last minute, like 2 days before the test, I'd get serious about it. And people thought that was funny. You know, that was my positioning, the guy who did nothing until the last minute. Then when I went into business, that was a really bad habit. And it took me a couple of years to get over that. Nobody praised me because I would do things at the last minute, and I tried to reverse to students I'd actually I didn't think that highly of, who were always organized and had things done on time. I'm still working on it, but Procrastination is not a good habit.
Bill can change clothes in the car. I mean, that's why we don't insure him at Geico, incidentally. But he has a little of that habit left. But the habits you develop, and I go back to the other thing, is have the right heroes. I mean, I've always been lucky in that respect. And if the people you look up to are going to form your vision of what the world, how you want to be in later life. And well, I'll give you two pieces of advice. I'd invest as much in myself as you can. I mean, you're your own biggest asset by far. I mean, you've got all kinds of potential. All the people in this room, you're lucky to be in this country, gotten a good education. But most people go through life using up a very, very small part of their potential. And so anything you do that invests in yourself, that's the best investment you can possibly make. And then I would follow my passion. I mean, whatever turns you on. I was lucky. I found something early that turned me on. But you don't want to take a job just for the money. You don't want to take a job for an organization that you really don't feel good about, or work for people that you don't feel good about. You really want to be excited when you get out of bed every morning. And it won't necessarily be the job that you have 10 years later, but you'll be learning so much as you go along. And I took a job with Ben Graham, my hero, and I never asked the salary, and I found at the end of the month when I got my first paycheck what I was earning, because I just knew it was the right thing to be doing. So I would follow your passion.
Hi, I'm Marissa Pont. I'm a senior management major. Obviously, as a public, what we hear most about are your successful investing in ventures or the new products that you develop that work out. I was just wondering, what would you consider to be the worst investment you've ever made?
The worst investment I ever made? How long do you have? I've made some very bad ones, but that doesn't really bother me. It may bother the shareholders, but that's another question. You're going to make mistakes in life. I mean, there's no question about it. You don't want to make them on the big decisions, who you marry and some things like that. So there's no way I'm going to make a lot of business and investment decisions without making some mistakes. I may try to minimize them. I don't dwell on them at all. I don't look back. The biggest mistakes are the ones that actually don't show up. They're the mistakes of omission rather than commission. We've never lost that much money on any one investment. But it's the things that I knew enough to do that I didn't do. We have missed profits of as much as maybe $10 billion in things that I knew enough to do and I didn't do. Now, the fact I didn't buy Microsoft way back is not a foregone opportunity, because I didn't know enough to make that decision. But there have been other investments where I did know enough to make the decision, and for one reason or another, I either didn't do it at all, or I did it on a small scale. I was sucking my thumb when I should have been writing checks, basically. And those don't show up. There's no place where it shows missed opportunities, but I've missed some big ones. The triumphs in life are partly triumphs because you know that everything isn't going to be a triumph. I would never get too hung up on mistakes. I know a lot of people that really agonize over them, and it just isn't worth it. I mean, tomorrow's another day, and you live it forward and just go on to the next thing.
I think in Microsoft's case, the biggest mistake is where we miss something that's coming along is going to be huge. For us, if we get in too early, like the idea of delivering TV over the internet, IPTV, we got in probably 5 years before we needed to. It's just now starting to happen. I don't feel bad about that at all. There's a few things like understanding direction, say the internet search would go, where we go, ooh, we're playing a tiny bit of catch-up on that. Let's work some overtime on this little problem here. People are kind of underestimating our ability to move to the front of the pack there. And we've had that in many cases. We had that when the internet came along and became this big phenomena that we needed to really push the company into that. We had that when IBM broke off its relationship with us and went into competition with us. That was a very big challenge. But we don't want to have anything that comes along, some breakthrough in terms of how software is done, that we haven't gotten the best people in and are putting that together with the work we're doing. So it'd be missing something like that, that'd be our worst mistake.